So they do travel east with the boys.
Well, good afternoon and welcome to Westshore Rugby here today at the Q Center Fields in Langford, British Columbia. Our first matchup today is the University of Victoria Norsemen versus Westshore Premier Reserves. And it should be a good one, a beautiful day for rugby. Sun in the sky on a day late in November here. So we sure are blessed to have the weather we have. As you saw that wonderful walkout, or run out, I should say, that was greeted with lots of cheers for Westshore and lots of boos for UVic, as we are set to get underway here in Langford. As the kickoff goes to the 10-meter line of Westshore, and Westshore will recover possession. As they kick to
Make sure you head on down to the Royal Bay secondary tent and support our Royal Bay Rugby program.
as UVic getting the ball back here and moving through some phases in Westshore territory. As a slip there, but up right away and on his feet, but knocks the ball on. However, the referee will bring play back for a penalty to the Norsemen. And kick there, but not out. And Westshore will recover the ball there and run up the field after that poor kick by the Norse. as Westshore there clears the ball from their own end. And UVic will have a line out halfway into Westshore's end there. Apologies for the different camera angle here. It's necessary for us to have power for the streams, and this is where we can get power from. So the end on camera is what it is today. As a great line break there by the Norse, tackled well by Westshore, and the ball stolen by Westshore. As the defense holding strong there. So they recover the ball after the kick to touch line out and look to move forward. And they'll move the ball out wide and through the hands. As tackled there, but up on his feet and offloaded. As the ball will come back to the left-hand side of the pitch. And stolen there by UVic. The ball will be taken, a penalty there by Westshore, conceded. And that is their second of the game. UVic kicked to touch on the first penalty, but it did not make it. This one, they make touch successfully. As UVic will have a line out on the 5-meter line of Westshore's territory here. Threatening early in the game. Possession has been mostly in Westshore territory so far. And Alex McCallum will throw for the Norseman here. The lineout is taken well, as UVic will look to maul their way into the end zone, but it collapses, and they will move out to the right-hand side. But a great double tackle there by Westshore, forcing the Norseman back, and they've lost significant territory there by the good tackle from Westshore, and now the penalty. So penalty to Westshore, great stance on defense there, as UVic was threatening 5 meters from the goal line, and Westshore drives them back, and looks as though, no, not a penalty. A knock-on possibly, but it will be a scrum to Westshore. Nonetheless, a good defensive stand, as they will look to get the ball out of their own territory, but the scrum will be reset, I believe. As it was wheeling slightly to the from left to right. So it will happen once again. As Westshore puts the ball in, but it collapses once again. So for the third time, or the second time I should say, we will reset the scrum and try it for the third time. So a third go at this scrum, as Westshore will put the ball in, and this time, once again, it will be reset, I think. So for a third time, the scrum will be reset. And we will do it once again. I think. So for a third time. So for the fourth time, the scrum's underway, and this time it gets off cleanly. And Westshore will kick the ball, which is taken well by UVic there, but offside, I think, might be the call, as the penalty will go to Westshore, or referees bringing it back to the scrum, so a scrum penalty most likely. And Westshore with some good defense and able to draw the penalty there, so they will kick to touch. And the lineout will be just about 10 meters into Westshore half as they look to push the ball out of their half for the first time today. But a fantastic defensive stand there by the team in white. Beautiful jerseys they're wearing today, as the lineout not taken cleanly and recovered by UVic there. Looks like that was Alex McCallum with the carry. And UVic with possession once again. So we'll see what they can do with it as they move the ball out wide. Great hands there by the speedy winger. Tackled well and recovered by Westshore. Once again, a fantastic defensive stand. As a line break there moves Westshore up, and they will move the ball to the right-hand side of the pitch. With possession now in the hands of Westshore, they move the ball to the left side, and a fight for the ball there in the ruck, but taken well by the scrum half of Westshore. And the ball is going to be coming back. It's going to be a penalty to Westshore once again. Looks like referee signaling a high tackle. Although it is, apologies if I am not perfect with my deduction of calls because I am looking through the small viewfinder of the camera while announcing. But that is a penalty to Westshore, and they have kicked a touch, and it just makes into touch, bouncing off the hands of the Norse player. I believe that was number 14, Jackson Graff, on the sideline. And Westshore will, a little cheeky one, right into the hands of the big man up front, and they gained some significant territory there. UVic, with what seemed like all the pressure to start the game, just could not get over the line. Westshore comes back with pressure, but give up the penalty there. So UVic ball, they turn it over after some good pressure there by Westshore, and that ball is going to go out of touch for a UVic lineout right along the halfway line of the field. As the lineout there, taken well by the Vikes, thrown well by Alex McCallum, and they move forward with some interesting shape. Quick hands there through the Norse player. And a big spin there by Marcus Lott as he brings the ball out to the right-hand side of the pitch. Tackled very well by Westshore, and UVic is out of bounds. A fantastic tackle there by the Westshore player to force UVic out of bounds there. Just some fantastic defensive stands so far. As the score remains 0-0. But UVic with much of the chances so far. Westshore just shutting them down when it matters. As the line out there, taken well, a little stutter step and dance, poorly taken through the hands there, as it will be knocked on by Westshore after the line out. And so it will be a UVic scrum. Just about 10 meters from the Westshore try line. As UVic looks to put some points on the board for the first time today. The scrum. Big push by Westshore there, but the referee looks to reset. I think that's going to be the 5th reset today, total on 2 scrums. So interesting to see if the referee will decide to indeed call scrum penalties at some point today, or just continue to reset. Nonetheless, it will be UVic scrum for the 2nd try. After that scrum wheeled from left to right. Another massive push there by Westshore, but UVic takes the ball well, brings it out to the left-hand side of the pitch into the hands of Marcus Lott as he dives forward, and the ball pops out of the ruck there, recovered by Westshore. Once again, really good rucking by them on the defensive stand. They'll kick it out, and that will not make touch, but we'll get a favorable bounce deeper out of Westshore territory, as it will be UVic ball once again, but much farther away from the goal line they were about 30 seconds ago. As Westshore will turn the ball over there and move up almost over halfway here, out to the right-hand side. Good tackle there, low on the legs by the Norse. And Westshore will look to put some sustained phases together here to get over that try line of UVic after some great defensive stands. As bouncing off the tackles and finally brought to the ground by Jackson Graff. Big number 1 of Westshore, double tackled backwards by the Norse. But Westshore with really good sustained possession so far in the last minute and a half are threatening here in UVic territory. Bursting through the line is Westshore. And threatening here deep in UVic territory. Let's see if the Norse can defensively stand, as Westshore has so far. A fantastic offload just before they go out of bounds, but they finally are forced out of bounds. But it will be UVic ball as Alex McCallum goes to retrieve it. So a little bit sloppy by both teams to start when it comes to the attacking front. Just not able to get over the line yet. As McCallum to throw, taken very well, as many of his throws are. And a tackle shrugged off, but the referee is going to say a knock-on, I believe, by the Norseman there. And so it will be a scrum to Westshore as they move the ball from left to right. And a wonderful tackle there by the Norse. But Westshore with the ball in the ruck, threatening here in UVic territory. And we'll see what they can do with it as they move the ball now from right to left. And through the hands, forced forward there. And Westshore, once again, with much of the possession in the last 5 minutes, moving through the phases extremely well. And a kick there, little chip and chase maybe, but taken well by Norse. Let's see if they can get over the ball, and they do. So they will put it backwards, most likely looking for a kick here. So we'll see if they can gain some ground. But Westshore's over the ball there, and they get the penalty. UVic unable to get over top of the ball in an area where they seem to have lots of help. Almost looked as though no one wanted to go in for contact. What a strange play. Nonetheless, it's going to be Westshore ball. As the penalty kick will be attempted, I believe. And a smart move here by Westshore. It seems like it might be a low-scoring game. So they are going to opt for the penalty kick immediately off of the penalty, 16 and a half minutes into this first half. And the flags go up. That kick is good. So
Royal Bay Day. Royal Bay Day. As you know, we have a fundraiser for the men's premier game coming up against the Vikes up with the 32 auctions, and that auction closes at 2:30. Find yourself a friend and win some money and support the club.
Yeah, okay, sweet.
You get the 3 now? Yeah.
So Westshore leading 3-0 after that penalty kick as they get the ball back in their own half and will kick it right back to the Norse. As that ball not taken well, did it go backwards? No, the referee says that went forwards. So a knock on will give possession back to Westshore here after they worked hard and drew the penalty to go up 3-0. So it's going to be a scrum to Westshore here. And the kick there just taken poorly by the Norse, knocked on, and Westshore will look to move the ball out of their territory as they win the scrum successfully there. The players in the forward pack there finally getting their feet, and the ball stolen there by the Norse, but referee saying it was done so illegally. So the penalty goes to Westshore as they will quickly kick to touch. That's not going to be out, and the Norsemen will run the ball back. It'll be a little chip and chase there, and will it get a good bounce? No, it won't. That was Jack Penaluma with the kick there, Penaluna, I should say, as Alex McCallum with the big tackle, or no, it was Luke Hamilton with the tackle there. But Westshore will remain with possession of the ball, up 3-0, as the referee will say that was a forward pass, I believe. So the scrum will go UVic's way, and they will win it cleanly, but a very good tackle there by the scrum half of Westshore, but rucked over well by UVic, but then knocked on by Marcus Lott, I believe, the experienced player wearing number 12. So a little bit sloppy here from the Norse to start, with some opportunities deep in Westshore half, deep in Westshore territory, that they could not convert. good defensive stands by Westshore themselves, and then just giving up the penalty 10, 15 meters from their goal line, and giving Westshore the opportunity to put 3 through the posts, as that scrum will be reset. So just as I say the forward packs might be figuring it out, they go ahead and have another scrum reset. So we'll see how it continues here today. But so far the scrum's not looking the best. As the scrum, the Westshore scrum, after that knock on, will be taken well, moved out to the left-hand side, but knocked on by Westshore. So once again, just some sloppy play by both sides so far. On a dry day, so no rain, not very wet, but some knock-ons early here to start this game, and it will be a UVic scrum. As the ball goes in, and the referee not happy with the scrum, so it will be reset again.
We'll do it. 3-0 Westshore. Once again, it is Royal Bay Day. Come on down and support Royal Bay Raymond. 32 auctions. We have an auction to fundraise and support the club, and that auction closes in about 90 minutes.
So the scrum goes off well, but Westshore will recover that ball off the UVic scrum. So not done well by UVic, but the scrum finally does go off, as Westshore will move the ball down to the right-hand side of the pitch. And once again threatening, but once again sloppy in possession and knocked on. So knock on so far, kind of the name of the game early on here, as both teams unable to have sustained possession in the last 5 minutes, although Westshore did put up 3 points with some good phase work 15 minutes into the game. UVic just so far unable to capitalize on anything, as again dominated in the scrum, and Westshore will win the penalty. They will go for the post once again to be up 6-0 here.
I don't make it go past 6 p.m. Yeah. I never said James Willa, 6-0 Westshore.
And as you can hear from the announcement in the background, the kick is good, and Westshore now leads 6-0. So Westshore with a start to the game that they could probably work on, but have come back here, drawing some penalties deep in UVic territory, and they lead 6-0 on 2 penalty kicks. 26 minutes into this game, and they've looked good for the last 15-20 minutes. As the right wing, speedy winger down there, moves the ball up and into the hands of the Westshore player in the middle of the pitch as they look to move the ball out of their half. And they will move it out wide, right on the sideline. Tackled well by the Norse. And the ball still in the hands of Westshore, though, as they look to escape from their own half and draw UVic into some more penalties possibly. But it looks like maybe the ball has been turned over here, and the ball has been turned over. UVic bursting down the middle. I believe that's Marcus Lott, dragging tacklers with him, still on his feet, and he's going to score. What a fantastic run there by Marcus Lott, making up for the knock-on earlier in the game, dragging tacklers with him, gaining probably 15 meters after contact there for the score. And UVic will put 5 points on the board pending a conversion here. As the kick is up, and the kick hits the upright. So it remains 6-5. As the ball will come back for a penalty. The ball will come back for a penalty to Westshore. And it will be UVic ball on the 5-meter line of Westshore here. As the throw by Alex McCallum, taken well by Josh Petrov. And UVic will try to maul their way into Westshore's goal line. And they do. Try time UVic. And they will lead by 4 points pending a conversion here off the line out and maul that drives Westshore backwards and UVic forwards, leading to the try. Conversion here off the line out and maul that drives Westshore backwards and UVic forwards, leading to the try. So it was a bit of a poor start by the Norse. Couldn't string anything together and gave up penalties when it mattered. But they've come back here to put 10 points in a row. Well, I was going to say that it looked like it went through, but it did not.
Conversion unsuccessful. 10-6 UVic.
As you can hear in the background, score is now 10-6 UVic. And as I was saying, UVic coming back with some points after some sloppy play to start the game. They're really bringing it to Westshore now, being a lot more physical in contact and trying to open up the field with some kicks and some runs, and evidently just not as many unforced errors as well by the Norse. That one there, though, is taken poorly. Good challenge by Westshore, and we'll see whose ball it turns out to be. It looks like it's going to be UVic line out. Or no, it will be Westshore line out. No, it will be UVic line out. I thought I saw the referee's hand out to the right-hand side there. And so UVic with the line out through the hands of Josh Petrov and down into the hands of UVic, but the penalty to UVic, Westshore concedes. And UVic will kick the touch here, leading 10-6. With about 5 minutes remaining in this first half, as Alex McCallum will throw a deep one into the hands of Josh Petrov. Well, off the hands of Josh Petrov, I should say. And UVic here with possession and with some momentum, trying to close out this first half with more points. But the momentum stops just like that as they knock the ball on. The knock on there will give the ball back to Westshore. And with just a couple minutes remaining in the first half, Westshore will look to put some more points. So far, 2 penalty kicks for Westshore and 2 tries for the Norse. As the referee finally going to call a penalty here in the scrum instead of resetting it. I guess he must have seen something different. I guess he's saying a knee down by the Norseman. And so Westshore here with a good opportunity to put some points on the head of the Norse at the end of this first half, as they will have a line out about 10 meters into UVic territory. So the line out by Westshore, taken very well, moved quickly out to the right-hand side on a long pass there by the scrum half. And Westshore moving backwards, but with a little grubber kick through the middle. Will it go out of bounds? It will. Inches away from the perfect kick, I think they were. But will dribble just out of bounds for the UVic lineout. If Westshore had got their hands on that ball, I think he surely would have been gone, as UVic players were nowhere to be found. But this one looks like it might have been knocked on by the Norse, although the referee, I think, will say that it went off the shin, but now the Norse will concede a penalty. So what will Westshore decide to do here? They've gone for points so far today, and I think they might be going for points here once again. This most likely will be the final play of the half, as Westshore will look to bring the score to within 1 point on their 3rd successful penalty kick of the day. And the kick is up. And the kick is straight through the middle. So 10-9 is the score.
Third penalty of the day by James Whittle. 10-9 is the score.
And the half almost elapsed here. I guess the referee feeling like one more play is necessary. So one more play it will be. The kick deep into Westshore territory. Not taken well by the 23 there, but it went backwards. And the ball kicked out to the right-hand side into touch. And it will be a UVic line out. At the tail end of this first half. So maybe UVic can put some points on the board here as well in response to those 3 from Westshore. Again, Westshore with 3 penalty kicks so far. And UVic with 2 tries as UVic looks to maul. This is how they got their second try on the maul, but this one's going to collapse. Westshore with a good defensive stand there as UVic will move out to the left-hand side. Some quick hands there with Westshore right over top of the ball. But UVic still barreling forward and complaining for a penalty, but they're not going to get one. But there, it will be a knock-on. And that will be the first half. So Westshore trailing by 1 point at half.
What a game.
So welcome back here to this second half action between the University of Victoria Norsemen and the Westshore Premier Reserves.
Hey, buddy.
We have a good matchup so far. It's a 10-9 game after the first half, and it's been hotly contested, to say the least. UVic playing well, but so far it's been a bit of an error-prone first half for both sides, as UVic will tap and go quickly, and just as I say, error-prone, they will knock the ball on right after the quick tap and go. So, unfortunately, although it's been a good game, a bit of some errors so far, and
beer. Nothing better than a beautiful November Saturday afternoon beer and hot dog.
we have 40 minutes remaining in this game. The score is 10-9 UVic, and Westshore with possession here as they look to move into UVic territory, and taken through the hands well there, as a good run after contact by number 6 on Westshore. But the penalty is going to go to the UVic Vikes. Another quick tap and go. UVic looking to inject some pace into this game, but for the second time in about 2 minutes, they are going to knock the ball on after a quick tap and go. So definitely looking to inject some pace, but that's not the type of pace that they want to inject. Is the pace of errors, as we have 2 UVic players down here. Number 15, Tanner Milligan, and I should say a UVic and a Westshore player down, hoping that they are both okay, as time will go off and the trainers will come out to attend to these players. Looks like number 22, Eden Lewis, is also down, so hoping that he's all right. Looking like a knee injury for him as he limps off the field. But again, UVic with 2 penalties quick to start this game, and immediately tapping the ball and running off, and within about 3 passes, knocking the ball on. So not the way you really want to start a half, but they will look to recover as they're still leading by a score of 10-9. And Westshore with a couple errors themselves, giving up those penalties early. So we'll see if the scrum, well, I was going to say we'll see if the scrum can sort itself out. It cannot. So scrum penalty there. The referee really deciding to do what I originally asked, which was stop resetting the scrum and instead decide which team is at fault and give a penalty. He's now decided to do that. But UVic is going to quickly tap and go again and then knock the ball on again. But they will turn the ball over. Westshore will kick the ball, and UVic will poorly take it, and the ball will fall out of bounds. So the line out will be taken by Westshore, and will be taken well, as some sloppy play by the Norse to start, but stolen by Marcus Lott there. The referee's going to say offside. So he's going to give that ball back to Westshore. And it was a cheeky little play there by Marcus Lott. Unfortunately, the referee saw right through it. But a good idea by the young number 12, as Westshore now will kick into touch, and it will make touch successfully. So they will have a line out in UVic territory, as, of course, I forget to put my time back on. And the line out is not going to be taken very well. I believe that's going to be recovered by the Norseman, and it is recovered by the Norseman. That's into the hands of number 18, Clegg, I believe. And number 12, Marcus Lott, and out to the left-hand side. Big tackle there, but that's number 14, Jackson Graff, speedy winger down the left-hand side of the pitch. Lachlan Crooks now the scrum half, and that's Tanner Milligan down the left-hand side who will score for UVic. So some broken play there by both sides, but eventually Tanner Milligan down the left-hand wing will score on the very far left-hand side of the field. A wonderful run there by the two wingers, and UVic will have their third try of the day, leading by a score of 15-9. So pending the kick here, it is a 15-9 game. That kick is no good, according to the referees. And I can't verify that myself because I'm about 200 feet away. So Westshore now trailing by 6 points, about 6 minutes into this game. And they will kick off once again into the hands of the Norseman, but sloppily taken off that restart, and Westshore will have the ball. They're down the left-hand side of the pitch, tackled very well there by the Norse, and offloaded into the hands of Westshore. And they will look to threaten here after giving up some points early in the start of the second half. So the big man losing the ball forward, and the knock-on, a knock-on it will be. So UVic with recovered possession there after the knock-on by Westshore. And it will be a UVic scrum. So UVic with the ball back, and they will move the ball into the hands of Josh McIndoe, but tackled very well there by Westshore. Still UVic ball though, and they will look to move the ball out of their own, well, deep. They're deep in their own half right now, aren't they? With the scrum half, Lachlan Crooks passing back to Jack Penaluna, who will clear the ball out and into the hands of Westshore, but in a much less threatening position for Westshore, as Westshore with possession still will move the ball to the right-hand side of the pitch. They have one guy versus one, and they will go out of bounds there. It was Jackson Graff with the pressure on the Westshore player who forced him out of bounds, and the ball will be turned over for a UVic lineout here. Alex McCallum to throw, with the ball being thrown into the hands of Josh Petrov. And UVic trying to form the maul, but the ball knocked on there, although it looks as though the ball was actually stolen by Westshore. Westshore knocked it on first, and then UVic with the second knock on. So it will be a UVic scrum from what I can see here after some double knock-on action after that lineout. And that is what it'll be. It will be UVic scrum, and the ball will pop out. It will pop out into the hands of Jack Penaluna, but it will be a penalty to Westshore. So penalty conceded by the Norse there will result in, well, what I was going to say is Westshore penalty kick. That's what they've been doing all day. But this time they will go for it. They're going to go for the posts. And that's a really good kick. A kick that goes right into the, well, 7-ish meter line of the UVic Norse. So Westshore with the line out here. It looks like a full body of line out of men in there to take this line out. Off the hands of number 7, but forward into the hands of UVic. And it will be a poor kick there, a very poor kick by UVic, but the whistle blows, and it's going to come back for the knock-on by Westshore outside of that line out. Again, UVic leading this game by a score of 15-9 at the moment. They have 3 tries. Westshore has 3 penalty kicks. And it will be a UVic scrum here. You have Jack Penaluna, Marcus Lott, and Tanner Milligan there, ready to take the ball from the hands of Lewis, or I should say Lachlan Crooks, the scrum half number 21. But that scrum, once again, will result in it being reset, it looks like. So, again, I said early in the game we might have a record for most scrums reset in a game. I don't know if that's a stat they track, but definitely, well, we definitely don't track it. But if we did have statisticians, it'd be kind of funny to see. Because, gosh, there have been a ton of reset scrums today. And Westshore, with the massive push there, are going to win the penalty. So the scrums just aren't going UVic's way so far. Alex McCallum favoring his right midsection, hoping that he's all right, as Westshore will quickly tap and go, looking to put the ball down right underneath the posts. And they will move it out to the far left-hand side. They have numbers. Can they get there? And they can.
Red time! Oh yeah!
And Westshore will put the ball down and score the try. So they will make this a 1-point game. Hey there. So the score is 15-14. Pending this conversion by Westshore, this could result in being a big kick, as this kick will put Westshore up by 1 point if converted. And Josh McIndoe with the run. The kick is no good. it is a challenge, even for the best rugby players in the world, to make a kick from that distance. So the score remains 15-14 for the UVic Norsemen, and we are just about 13 minutes in to this second half. So UVic will kick the ball off once again, and they will look to get these points back as the ball not taken well by Westshore, and it's actually knocked on by Westshore. So UVic will get possession back deep into Westshore territory here. It's been a bit of a back and forth start here to the second half. A start that both teams, well, specifically Westshore, really would have liked, as Westshore coming back there with 5 points of their own to bridge this gap to 1 point, as it was at the end of the first half. As Jack Penaluna tackled there by Westshore, and Jackson Graff to play the ball through the hands of, although I can't see the number, the UVic player there. It was Luke Hamilton, I believe, number 6. And he drives forward, drives his legs, and keeps them going. As UVic here will look to take advantage of that knock-on off the opening kickoff by Westshore. So Lachlan Crooks, he plays the ball into the hands of Josh McIndoe. Possibly a knock-on, although, yes, I believe the referee will say knock-on. He's saying advantage to Westshore, who have the ball back now. Rucked over very well, but Westshore gets 3 guys over that ball in an instant. However, the ball coming right back at them as UVic, but Westshore holding well. A low pass there into the hands of the Westshore player, but he takes that extremely well. Almost would have expected a knock-on considering how many we've had so far today. And the referee will bring all of this back for, gosh, an injured player, hoping that he is all right. Originally thought as though he was down for the knock-on, but
15-14 in the game.
looking as though he's up and moving,
Right now the auction's at
hoping that
18,
he is all right.
Let's get that up to 2K. We have 50-50 for Royal Bay, plus a raffle, and hot dogs over there. So go support the Raven program.
Looking as though he's up and moving.
Tell me your big B.
And there we are. He's up and walking to the sidelines. So that is good to see, as I believe the referee will be coming back for the knock-on anyway. And it will be a Westshore lineout, or I should say Westshore scrum here. And they will take it cleanly, but UVic with a good tackle and a good steal there by Lachlan Crooks, but then knocks it on. Or was it a forced? No, it was a knock-on. So good tackle and good steal there by UVic, but unable to capitalize on the situation through the knock-on there. So UVic will, Westshore, I should say, will have the scrum, and they will win it fairly cleanly. The ball will pop out. They will kick, and the kick is quite good, taken by Tanner Milligan, but it's going to be a penalty to Westshore, I believe. Offside on UVic. And intriguing call, not that I could see it, but Westshore is going to be able to kick to touch there. And yes, they'll be able to kick to touch after that penalty. So they will have the line out, and they will have the line out just inside their own half as they look to escape their own half after some sustained time in their own half, although UVic with not too much threatening as that line out cheekily put through at the front but is not going to be straight. So crooked line out there will result in the turnover, and UVic ball here in the scrum as Westshore, second time they've done that play today, kind of just going straight to the front guy. First one, it worked very well. Second one, it didn't work so well. As I should say, the UVic line out there, thrown by Alex McCallum, will be taken well, and no knock on just yet. So UVic with the ball, and through the hands of Lachlan Crooks, through the hands, into Alex McCallum, off the foot, poor pass there by McCallum, and Westshore will get the ball back. Again, UVic leading by 1 point here, probably about 16 or 17 minutes into this first half. And big run here by Westshore, getting some momentum up the field, really doing what they need to do and getting the ball out of their own half, as the start to this second half has really been played in their half. Really good run, powerful legs there by the Westshore player. What a run after contact by the lad there. Pass on the ground, a little grubber pass, but taken well. Again, good hands by Westshore so far in this second half. As things will slow down, things will come back out to the left-hand side. Some big running, some missed tackles here so far in these phases by UVic, but that ball is going to be knocked on, recovered by Lachlan Crooks, put to the outside, slips and falls on this turf here, or the grass here, is, I believe that was Aziz Saeed, although I cannot see his number. I don't even know if he has a number, actually. And UVic with the knock on now. So the referee will come back for that. So here we are, 20 minutes into this first half. Each team has scored one try in this second half, I should say. And the score is 15-14 for the University of Victoria Norsemen. It's been a bit of a sloppy game. There have been quite a few reset scrums, quite a few knock-ons, hence the low score. And just as we say, that's going to be a scrum penalty to, against the Westshore. And UVic will tap and go quickly. A couple times in the second half, UVic, in the beginning, they tapped and went quickly and knocked it on within 2 or 3 passes. So they haven't done it here, but they've given up the penalty. So UVic with the penalty, and they tap and go quickly and give the penalty right back to Westshore. Westshore in this game with 3 penalty kicks so far, 9 of their 14 points coming from penalty kicks. This time though, they will go to touch. It is a bit far to go for goal, as UVic almost almost getting to that ball, but it does just go to touch. So Westshore will have the line out in UVic territory, just about 4 or 5 meters away from the 22 of UVic. And the lineout will be taken well by Westshore. And they will move the ball out to the right-hand side. A little grubber kick through. This looks really good. Not taken well by Eden Lewis. And the referee is going to say it is a knock-on by Westshore, however. And UVic will be making a sub. Looks like Alex McCallum will be coming off. You could see that one coming. He's been favoring his right hand shoulder or abdomen for the last 5-10 minutes, so hoping that he's all right. Good young player, Alex McCallum. And I could not see the number he's being replaced by, but being replaced nonetheless. So after that knock-on, it will be UVic scrum, wheeling and turning, and the ball cannot come out. And the penalty will be going to Westshore. Scrum penalty against UVic, which is poor to give up this close to your goal. And just like they've done all game, Westshore will go for the posts. So UVic leading by 1 point at the moment. This penalty kick would put Westshore up by 2. And could be a big turning point in the match here. It'd be their 4th penalty kick of the game. And the penalty kick is missed. The penalty kick from probably his easiest so far today is missed to my left, their right. And the score will remain 15-14 UVic here. 25 minutes into this second half. And UVic with the kick out recovered by Westshore. And after that missed penalty kick, they will be looking to come right back at UVic here and put some points on the board and close this 1 point gap to a lead with 15 minutes remaining in the game. And the referee calling for advantage, possibly, no, but the ball really close to UVic's goal line now. Westshore is really threatening here. Big ruck over by UVic. The ball played far out wide to the left. Speedy around the corner. That ball going backwards. Dived on by the Westshore player. Coming back out to the right. UVic with a big stand there. Westshore was oh so close to getting over the goal line. And the ball will come back out to the right. But Westshore moving backwards now. Well, forwards now, out to the right-hand side. There's space. Can he beat him? Maybe a high tackle. And there's some fisticuffs going on after that tackle. It did look high to me. Could be a penalty try. Could be a penalty try awarded.
Perhaps a penalty try.
Could be. That tackle was quite high.
High tackle and a punch. I saw that. I pushed the high tackle. I saw that. He came up Well, if you hadn't grabbed him by his head, I think you would have.
Just get the tie.
We will see what happens here as referees will be discussing what to do. And I would not be surprised if a yellow or a red card and a penalty try is to follow. But we will see. It's going to be a red card to someone. It's going to be...
It appears to be a red card penalty try. Hold on.
It looks as though it's a
We have a penalty try.
penalty try.
Of some sort. I thought I saw red. UVic young fellow will spend 10 minutes of the rest of the game and feel shame.
Shame. Feel the shame. Feel the shame.
21-15.
So
21-15 at the moment. I believe we have about 12, 14 minutes left.
So we do have confirmation. It's a penalty try to Westshore there on the high tackle by the UVic player. And a red card for someone. UVic is down to 14 men, I believe. UVic is down to 14 men, and the referee still explaining what's happening to the coaches on the sidelines. Looks as though Westshore coming out unscathed from that altercation. No penalties to them.
21-15.
As UVic will
Yellow or red to the Norse winger.
kick the ball back off, and time will be back underway.
Back at it.
And the penalty immediately back to UVic,
UVic.
not releasing, as UVic will look to close the gap, which is now 6 points between them and Westshore here, with just about 12 minutes to go in this game, depending on how the referee paused and started his clock with that altercation. And so the lineout will be to UVic, who are down to 14 men here, with that high tackle penalty try. And although I couldn't see up close what was going on, it looked as though there might have been some stuff both ways, but UVic, the only ones coming out with any penalties whatsoever. So, interesting call there by the referee, but he was right there, and I certainly was not. So, UVic's going to take that line out well. They are going to maul forward, and the maul will be somewhat broken, but then reformed as UVic will knock the ball on. So UVic just a little bit sloppy here in this second half since they scored that try. Knocking the ball on after the penalty was awarded to them in a threatening position. So the scrum will be to Westshore. Once again, the scrum wheeling a little bit, but Westshore pushing it forward as they will look to pass the ball out and escape from the confines of their own half, which they are doing well so far. Speedy down the left-hand side here, but good tackle there with Marcus Lotta in support, who rucks over well. Ball pops out. UVic's going to get this ball back, and it's going to go out to Westshore, who quickly plays it and then kicks the ball deep into touch, although no, it doesn't reach touch. Almost bounced back in. But a little bit of confusion here. The referee saying that ball hit touch, I believe. So that is what he's saying. He's saying it's going to be a UVic lineout after that ball hit touch. And so UVic, Carter Hatto with the throw, will play the ball into the hands of Lachlan Crooks, and it will be knocked on. So UVic, or Westshore with the scrum, and the kick deep into UVic territory. What a good kick there by the Westshore player. Almost driving UVic back into their own end zone. Marcus Lott with the kick there, and it will reach touch. So UVic pinned back in their own zone a little bit here. As they look to close this 6-point deficit with just about 5 minutes remaining in the half, in the game, I should say. But Westshore with the line out. That is taken well. Well, not taken well, actually. UVic with the recovery there. And they will look to move up the field here in the closing stages of this game. They need a try and a conversion to win this game. And that is after the high tackle, which resulted in a penalty try for Westshore and a red card for UVic. that ball going backwards as the kick is blocked, but Marcus Lott recovers it. And UVic will grab and go, will try to move their way up the field. And that's Julian Gold with the carry into the hands of Jack Penaluna, but he is stuffed by the Westshore player. And back to Julian Gold, who gained some ground, and you can feel the intensity really starting to pick up here as another big tackle by Westshore as UVic plays the ball out to the left-hand side, out to their speedy wingers. That's Luke Hamilton, number 6. And UVic, with some sustained pressure, working their way through the phases here, just unable to gain significant enough ground to get close to Westshore's goal line at the moment. But there's a line break. There it is. There's Tane Clegg, number 8, who gained some ground and gained some significant ground. Offloads it to Marcus Lott. Now UVic is cooking, but they turn the ball over, unable to get men over the ball for the ruck there. And it's just an easy steal for the Westshore player who's right in there. But UVic, with some good pressure there, moving through the phases. Tane Clegg with the big run and just unable to get men over the ball. So Westshore will kick it out. The stutter step there by Tanner Milligan. And UVic is right back where they started. They are on a goal line plunge here, looking to get this ball across the goal line. And the referee's going to give a penalty to UVic. They're probably going to tap and go quickly here, but with someone on the ground. Ah, well, a yellow card it's going to be to Westshore. Interesting there by the referee. Couldn't really see from this angle what was happening there. It's going to be a kick across, and it's going to land poorly for UVic. An interesting idea, but now Westshore is free to run, but a big tackle there by UVic. And it was an interesting idea, but maybe not the best when you need points for sure to win the game. And Westshore is going to kick this ball back deep into UVic territory, bouncing just how they want it, end over end, deeper and deeper into UVic territory, as Jack Penaluna will kick the ball back to Westshore, and everyone will tag up for to be onside and continue the plunge. And a really interesting offload there, but it's going to be forward as a Westshore player falling to the ground, got that ball off, but forward pass it was deemed to be. So, depending on exactly how the referee, with Westshore leading by 6 points here, 21-15, and big scrum there by Westshore. They'll recover the ball, and a big run, good tackle there by Jack Penaluna, as Westshore threatening here, and they will take the ball out of bounds, and they will win this game.
Right, where we go. Westshore Prime Reserves remain undefeated, top of the league for the BC Prime Reserve League.